I'll give a very general impression of mine. It was quite unresponsive, the whole cross-examination.
Right.
It was difficult to get a direct answer from this witness. And, just dancing around a question without directly answering it. So a lot of answers being moved to strike. And the witness herself keep asking question back to the lawyer and then raising her voice.
For me, the confusion lies here because it seems to us that she came with a very well educational background. That she studied English very long time ago. She went to United States around early 2000, and she was able to have a degree, a master degree. She was able to actually work in finance industries like bank, work in the Big Four before. So it doesn't seem to me that she would be the one who will be having problems understanding the questions. This one, it seems to be a very a very selective choice of words that she chose to answer the questions, because like you said, that she said that Miles' message was to bring American value back to China and never touches on CCP. And when talk about any of these things related to CCP's corruptions, CCP's no rights of private properties, that she always said that I don't remember. And it doesn't it doesn't match with how one person could brainwash you while you are not even remembering what that person was saying in the videos, right?
So in the direct yesterday, she claims that she works volunteer work for the farm for average of 40 hours a week during a period of time. And by that time, she claims she also had a job at bank, full-time job at bank. She also have a kid that she has to take care of. And then the timesheet, I remember today was reviewed, that the timesheet she submitted during that period of time, this from the end of February to October 2022, there's a total of 2,390 hours of volunteer work. Okay? And she doesn't remember who she submitted this timesheet to, and she doesn't admit that when it was asked, do you know that Miles was promoting there's a reward for people joining the farm and do the volunteer work? She said, I don't know, I don't remember. And it was asked, did they tell you the people that she submitted this form, the timesheet to, did they tell you that you inflated the timesheet? So what from what the defense know, that there's a disagreement from the people who is in charge of managing the timesheet and then giving out the reward, and her have a disagreement on whether she actually have that many hours of work, volunteer work, right? Was asked, I made it loud and clear, I sent money, I was tricked, things like that, and the dates also, it's hard for her to admit something she did. And then we have to really pull out the evidence showing, look, this is the date you did, and this is the email you sent. This is actually the word by word that you said when you want to reach a certain goal, let's say purchase the G Club membership. And she claimed that she wasn't buying a G Club membership, but then turns out she had like 5 cards that was active.
And to add on to that, then the argument, or at least what she was trying to convey, was the fact that she had made the payment prior to, making sure it was for G Club membership. And she was saying how she did not have a choice. But, our defense team said, well, you had a choice to say no. You had a choice to ask for a refund.
Right.
So I think it's about how the information is being presented.
Right. And then she answered, so what? She literally just asked in court, so what? I had a chance, so what? I didn't do it because I trust Miles. That's just her logic throughout the whole questioning, right? And it was extremely difficult to hear and then to even follow the logic with, And also with the H coin as well, I want to say, she made 95 transactions in total.
In Himalaya Exchange?
In Himalaya Exchange, yes. And then there's 80 sell transactions. And when it was asked, is it because you want to make a profit? She said, no, it's to avoid loss. So in her mind, avoid loss doesn't equal to making a profit. That's why she made 80 sell transactions with Himalaya Exchange.
And that's when she purchased,
yes.
H coin at $40 a piece, right? I think
that
she
was the
testified
price
to
plan.
that.
Yeah. So she decided to purchase H dollar at H coin at $40 one coin price point, and even 50 afterwards. So she only purchased in 2021 or 2022. 22, I think. Yeah. That's the price point she purchased. Yeah.
And our defense team also brought up the fact that in order to do so, you needed a ID that's outside of the United States, and she testified that she's a United States citizen.
Wow.
So it was confirmed that she did use her Chinese ID to be able to set up these accounts to be able to make these purchases.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder IRS would if IRS would check her financial situation, because it seems to me that it was made it very clear in all of Mr. Guo's videos that any people who live in United States, Japan, and Canada are prohibited from registering accounts on Himalaya Exchange. And
for the donation of Rule of Law Foundation. So she donated from period in 2020 to 2022. So the first donation, she said we joined. Me and my husband, we jointly did it, and you cannot always say my husband did it. It's we decided to do it together. I really don't understand the point of emphasizing, but if you know, please tell me. So the first donation was made paid by the husband, but the decisions made together. It's around like $400, a couple $100, and then in 2022. In 3 days in a row, that was the dates listed. They donated $30,000. So basically, I'd say $10,000 a day. So all of a sudden, there's a $30,000 donation, and she thinks it was an investment. She did not think of it as a donation. She would not make this investment if she knows she couldn't get her money back from Rule of Law Foundation, but she did not clarify. Well, first of all, she doesn't know the goal of Rule of Law Foundation. She's not familiar with the things that Rule of Law Foundation has done in the past. Also, she doesn't know who's on board of Rule of Law Foundation, who founded it, and what's the purpose, and etc. And then she think it was an investment. That's why she donated in the first place. And
I think one of the point that this witness always emphasized on a joint effort and a joint decision was that Mr. Guo was actually only making direct communication with her husband, not the witness. So the fact that she would like to emphasize that it is a joint decision was trying to adding on value of her own as a victim witness, because ultimately because it was very clear ultimately it was her husband communicating with Mr. Miles of their wish to join the private placement of the GTB, and she confirmed yesterday with the government that it was Mr. Guo sent out a link of the GTB private placement memo to him, and it was Mr. Guo in WhatsApp communication sent her husband a link. And so when Sabrina asked about whether you joined that communication, whether you were part of the communication, her emphasis was, I was present, I was physically present, I was by my husband. So when Mr. Guo sent out a voicemail, we listened together. So I think that was the primary part that she always wanted to emphasize, the joint effort, because if she was not part of the communication and if the investments was not even under her name, then how could you validate that, or how could you be qualified as a victim witness?
Everything will be a hearsay at that point.
How would she be?
And during the redirect this afternoon, and then when she was talking about how she's brainwashed, she had her feelings and all that, and she's almost like crying and have really those emotions comes out, and then after she said, would you still invest at the end of after a minute also? It was asked a question by the government, would you still invest if this happened? And she's like, no, everything's a fraud, and she started laughing again. So within a minute, she transitioned from crying and sobbing and so very sad to laughing and to, I don't know if it's just laughing, having a smile on her face with her mouth open.
Wow.
Yeah.